Hello, dear Leo. Welcome to my channel and welcome to your February reading. As you can see here, we already have a card for you, and that is the card that came out for the month of February when I was doing your yearly reading. I suggest you to have a look at the yearly reading. I will link it here, so you know what kind of energies you are dealing with generally throughout this year. And you may want to see the January reading as well, because that video was important in terms of the energies that you are tuning in for 2020. And if you are new here, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification button. Let me know how do you feel about these videos, because I'm doing them for you and I'd like to have your feedback. So we are now doing this reading for February, and the sun will be the beginning of the month will be in the sign of Aquarius, and actually Mercury right now is in the sign of Aquarius. And we have those major planets, Pluto, Jupiter and Saturn, still in Capricorn. We have Venus in Pisces at the beginning of the month, but later on the 8th, Venus will be moving to the sign of Aries. We have Uranus in Taurus, and we have Mars, a planet that you like, as a sign. We have it in Sagittarius, which is a good position as well for you to be in. Let's see what's happening here. This third card. Whoa. Leo, Leo, Leo. So we have here the Lover's card, which is actually the energy for this month. And I love the Lover's card. It's a very beautiful card. It's a card of balance. It's a card of unification. It's a card of love in the outside world, but it's actually a card representing the love we have within our selves. It's the unification between the two polarities, femininity, masculinity, and the unification in a higher presence that is here represented by this angel and by this sun. It's a very balanced card. And yeah, it might as well mean that you'll have to take a decision this month. But it means as well a well-being within ourselves. Before we actually go into any other relationships outside there, we have to be one or united, or unite all the parts that are within ourselves. And it's beautiful because this figure here, this angel with these hands and the two people here, it's a very balanced card in the way how this image here is depicted. The composition, it's very balanced with this beautiful center here, the sun. And I see here actually through this card that came out now that you may be going a difficult situation right now in January, end of January, beginning of February, or maybe throughout February. And then you have these two cards, like you have the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Swords, which the Nine of Swords indicates that you are worried about something, you are not happy about something, You are thinking a lot. You are wanting to change something. And you have all these swords here, because in the middle you have the Six of Swords actually. And the Eight of Swords, it's a card of stagnation. Not being able to see, not being able to take a decision, not being able to move. So you have these two situations or two energies here. And in the middle, thanks God, you have the Six of Swords, which is as well related to thinking, but at least the Six of Swords meaning an escape from these situations here, a moving on. And actually your yearly reading was all about moving on this year. But in the yearly reading, I was reading it more professionally, like moving on into another ground. You have been growing, outgrowing a certain situation, and it's time to move on. And this Six of Swords here indicates that. This troubled waters here, you are leaving them behind. You are moving towards calmer waters. It is a little bit a sad situation, because it's difficult that we move, that we grow. We do this sometimes because we are not satisfied or because something is happening. So let's say we are forced sometimes to do these changes, these movements, but that's the way how life goes. It's always a movement, it's progression. Or you are thinking to move, to do this movement, and it's a good time to do it now, because I see you are surrounded by this situation which is not helping you. There is both this stagnation, you are stuck, unable to move further into the situation, and worrying actually. Worrying about the past, worrying about the future, worrying where you are right now, and the only solution that you have is to move on. And actually, for me, this card really means moving on, even like physically. If you find yourself in any situations that you don't like, and sometimes we don't have to confront everything, we just remove ourselves from those situations, because you cannot always fight. Sometimes your fight is leaving, moving on, going somewhere else. And this lover's card here, it's a reminder for you. I think there is something in your life that resonates with this card. I hope it is you with yourself in a certain situation, in something that you are doing, meditation or whatever way you have to connect with yourself and your higher self, that brings you peace, that brings you serenity, that brings you satisfaction, that brings you balance. This is a reminder, and it's as well something that you are moving towards. Either a goal, because right now in February we are in the season of Aquarius, which is a card about the future, about looking ahead, about vision. So it's a very good time to keep in mind that vision of yours. Where are you trying to go? Have you made a vision board for this year? Have you written down where you want to go? What do you want to achieve personally, work-related, family, love, passions? Write it down and keep it in mind. Whenever situations like this, like 8 of Swords or 9 of Swords appear, you go back to that vision board and you read it. And you move on in that direction. You leave these things behind. And maybe this a little bit difficult situation now, if in February, is as well related to the outside world and what's happening around you, because right now Sun is in Aquarius, and Aquarius, it's your opposite sign, and Aquarius, it's all about society, all about groups, and your sign, it's all about the personal, the individual, the I, the center. So it's a little bit of conflict here when the Sun is in Aquarius, because your sign is as well linked to the Sun, and the Sun likes this attention about the self, about the center. So you might be, the situations around you may be causing you this frustration. But keep in mind this Lovers card. Keep in mind this Sun. What is your Sun? What is your center? What's the center of your life? Do you have a center? It's an inner center. And the Lovers card here as well, it's taking care of the self. And Venus in Pisces, which is all about that unconditional love, reminds us, you know, to love ourselves, to love others as we love ourselves. And but Venus is moving to Aries on the 8th of March. And Aries is the beginner. It's the first house of the horoscope. It's, you know, redirecting your attention towards yourself, but not in that egoistic way, but in that higher self, linking to that higher self. And if things are not going well around you, then you should go back to that self. That's your house. How is your house? What is your foundation? Where do you go back when things are not okay? And we need those trouble moments because they remind us that we have to have a safe home within ourselves. And you can do something for that. And I'm happy that here down you have this beautiful cards. And here you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is a little bit like this Sun energy here. It resonates with the Sun. It represents the Sun. It is something that comes in this month. You have to find something in this month, that center, that thing that actually lights you up, that gives you energy, that helps you. Maybe you initiated yourself. It's something new. And because that yearly reading was all about becoming independent, starting your own business, not working with other people, moving out of circles that no longer serve you, and maybe you have reached that point where things are really, you can't bear it anymore. You have to go, you have to do something on your own, and you are starting that maybe with this Ace of Pentacles. That new start, that new beginning, that new foundation, that thing that you have been wanting to do for a while. And it's beautiful, it's long-lasting, it's tangible. You want this. It's just that it's related a little bit, it brings you fear. Let's say it's hidden. You have to dig to bring it out, because on the surface you are afraid about this Ace of Pentacles, about this new beginning, about this new initiation, about this investment, about this new project, this new path, this opening, starting a small business maybe that goes more in your nature. And you have the Page of Swords, which is a young energy, a communicative energy. It's very in the nature of Aquarius right now. And this Page of Swords, it's looking very interested towards this pentacle. It's like almost training for this Ace of Pentacles, ready to fight for this Ace of Pentacles. And not to fight, but like to enjoy it. That's how you feel actually when you see this Ace of Pentacles, when you see this new beginning, when you think of it, how you will proceed with it, or how you will deal with it, or how it will go in the future. You feel light, you feel like it's an Aquarius energy. You feel very open, very airy, very fresh, very young, very communicative, very dreamy about this Ace of Pentacles. It's a nice energy, because in the beginning of something you need this approach toward it. You need this airy approach. You have to give it ground. When we are fearing, you can see it here. There's no vision. Everything is dark. There's no air. There's no landscape. We don't see. We are blocked from fear. And it's the same here with the Eight of Swords. And maybe even the Six of Swords here that I was reading before. Maybe this is like even looking away from this Ace of Pentacles. Because we have these very distinct blocks here. We have this upper block here that is almost blocking you from having this Lover's condition, the Lover's card condition, which is beautiful. It's like this Nine of Swords, this Six of Swords, and this Eight of Swords are blocking. But what's underneath it, it's beautiful. Because first of all is this passion of yours, or this new initiation of yours, that you have been afraid to deal with, to start it. You have been analyzing it. And then this Page of Swords, this is the approach that you can have about it, if you are not afraid, if you are not worrying, if you are not thinking about failure, if you are not thinking about fear. And the Queen of Wands, it's beautiful Queen. I love the Queen of Wands, because the Queen of Wands is all about vision, all about future. She's concentrating on a project that it's not yet there. She keeps her eyes on the prize, on the journey, on the goal, on the long term. And the Queen of Wands, it's all about working in absence of the results right now. She does not concentrate on what is there. She concentrates on that vision, and that vision helps her continue her journey. Helps her stay stable, helps her be aware of her energy, stay in her power. And the Queen of Wands as well works in the face or in the presence of difficulties and fears, which are represented here by this black cat. She knows that you can never be 100% perfect in order to start something. There will always be some doubts. There will always be some fear. There will always be some confusion. But you don't concentrate on that. You just let it be there. You concentrate on the vision, on the project, on the plan. And you be warm, and you be passionate, and you be trustful. So trust yourself. If you are getting any doubts now in February, especially in the beginning of February, things will change in the middle of the month and by the end of the month. And as I said, Mercury and Venus are in... Mercury is in Aquarius now, which is the planet of communication. And it's moving to Pisces, and it might be a little bit difficult, Mercury in Pisces, and Venus as well in Pisces. But when Venus moves to Aries, you will feel more energetic. You will feel more, it will relate more to your energy. So don't let this fear, which is like the first emotion that shows up when you are thinking maybe this month, or when you are trying to plan, or when you are trying to make that change, or when you are trying to work in the direction of your goal. Look what's underneath it, because there's passion underneath it, there's a vision underneath it, there is an interest there, a very, very refreshing interest, makes you feel young, makes you feel like you want to do the work. And there is this beautiful interest and initiation. And it's all perfect down there. So dig a little bit more down. Look what's behind fear. Why are you afraid? Because this thing is beautiful that you want to do, that is inside you, that is special. And this brings you in balance. Here with the lover's card. So keep this in mind, and keep in mind these 3 cards here, and act with them. And whenever you are facing this moment, the 8 of Swords, the lack of vision or doubting your vision, just think about the Queen of Swords, a Queen of Wands. Keep your eyes on the goal, on your vision. Okay, listen to your insecurities, but don't give them any attention. Whenever you want to leave because it's too much, then find what gives you pleasure in this endeavor. See it as a challenge, see it as a training, see it as something that actually makes you feel alive, aliveness. Face it. Don't put your back to it, to this beautiful Ace of Pentacles. It's hidden. You have been hiding it. It's hidden by fear and by, doubt. If you remove the doubt, if you remove the fear, if you remove the desire of leaving, of not engaging, of not dealing with it, what do you see? You see this beautiful energies. So keep that in mind, dear Leo, now in February. I hope you liked the reading. Leave a comment, and I'll see you soon in March. Wish you all the best. Bye.